Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is the first episode of the ongoing series How to Read, and this time we're dealing with the first steps into reading graphic novels and comic books. So if you're one of my students, you'll have in front of you a note sheet in your class OneNote. I highly suggest that you use it, fill it out, so that you have access to your own notes in an exam situation where this video won't be available to you. If not, well, welcome, and hopefully you learned something. And if you don't, hopefully you'll just enjoy it. But please tag along for the ride. The first thing to note when we start reading comics is that these stories are told in a combination between text and images. That makes them very information dense, and it makes interpreting and analyzing them a little bit more tricky than just looking at a standard text or a standard set of images, because we have to do both. The basic organizing principle, the layout of the comic that we're looking at, is the first thing to notice and to take notice of. And there are three different types of pages that we can use specific terms to describe. The first one is called the spread page. It is a page divided into smaller drawings, typically within frames or panels. We call them either or, panels or frames, and often organized into a pattern, which is then read from left to right, top to bottom, at least from a Western standardized perspective. The pattern can often be very strict, typically signifying some sort of calmness or at least a rhythm to the way we read it. But in other circumstances it can also be quite chaotic. For instance, the one that we're looking at right now, which is taken from Frank Miller's Sin City. As is the next page, which is an example of what is called a splash page. It is a single image on the page, which is typically used for the wow effect. It is a drawing that either has many details that we need to pay attention to, or it is a finishing off of a series of events which are action driven or exciting to read about. So we use this final massive image as sort of closure, or as a page turner, as like a cliffhanger, where you can't wait to see what happens next. And that effect can either be used to end an episode and then you have to wait for the next issue, or to lead into something even bigger. Like this. This is a double splash. And double splashes are, of course, more of the same, even more potent than the splash page as such. And consequently, they are preserved for the extraordinary events, like for instance this case where Wonder Woman kicks Superman through a wall in a most horrendous fashion. So double splashes are the showstoppers of the comic book, especially in the superhero genre. It is these pictures that make us go wow. Okay gang, that's it for today. I'll catch you next time, where we continue into the basic sorting principle of the comic book, the panel or the frame.